Hello and welcome back to round number 4, the final round here at Guardian Games for Modern Mondays for Portland Paper. I'm Travis Cooper, back from a hexproof adventure, hanging out with
Corinne Delahanty.
And Ian
and
Lunger.
what's that? That was Ian. That was Ian over there.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ian's
oh,
goes
we
Mike.
got we got three of us. So I guess you usually get a 2 for 1, but now it's like a 3 for 1. Is that?
Yeah, seems like good value.
Travis, how many for one did you get playing Bogles against engineered explosives?
I got 4 or 5 or 6 for 1 so many times tonight. It felt awful. Never again. Never forget.
Well, next time don't go making promises like that.
Yeah, I'm a
Put
man of
yourself
my
in
word.
that situation.
All right, so we have Eldrazi Tron, piloted by our resident Paul, battling Finn on humans. You have a favorite in this matchup, Karen?
So we actually were talking about this earlier. I think humans is gonna have a good time here. Just like being able to disrupt a lot of what Eldrazi Tron's doing and some of the creatures with like meddling mage to name some of the bigger problems. And I don't know how effective Kite Sail Freebooter would be necessarily. Like maybe grabbing dismembers or something, but I don't know. I think humans will have. I think they're a little bit advantaged if I had to take a guess.
Yeah, I kind of in the same boat. I feel like Tron is favored in matchups where Chalice is going to be relevant. Chalice usually isn't going to be relevant in this matchup because if you get your Aether Vial down and then you have Cavern of Souls, you can kind of just ignore it.
Right.
And yeah, humans usually spams the board with enough creatures that get big enough that you're going to be able to do some profitable blocks and then be able to chip in with like flying. Manus Riders are really important, I think, in the matchup.
Oh yeah. And yeah, Big Monkey 369, we were low key able to grant your wish of finding a humans list for round 4, so I'm glad we could come through on that.
Yeah, you tried really hard
Yeah, we tried
to.
so hard for that.
You have to put out a lot of energy for humans to go undefeated and be seated at table 1, but it worked.
It worked.
So, chat, if you're playing humans and your Eldrazi Tron opponent is on the draw and hasn't played anything turn 1, what do you and they played, let's say, a Tron land. What do you name with your meddling mage? What do you name, Curran?
In the blind, uh, no play on turn 1. I would name. That is tough. That is a tough question. Trying to figure out what I care about the most. Probably engineered explosives, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that would probably be the card that I would be scared of.
Also, you see Dismember is a pretty common removal spell, so possibly a good choice as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe even think about something like Matter Reshaper, Thought Not Seer 2. Because Matter Reshaper is one way the Tron deck can, get some card and creature advantage going.
But the question was Tron land, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta have to choose a card that would be in either variant. I think. I don't know. Because engineered explosives could just go into standard Tron.
Right. Yeah, that's very true.
Oh, Scry 2 with the Charming Prince.
Yeah, it's been interesting seeing the humans deck certain lists adopt the Charming Prince. I kind of like it a lot, especially when you're playing Canopy lands. Just being able to have some like mid to late game kind of card draw selection engine seems important, and the flicker effect, is always strong in any kind of little like creature deck that has ETB triggers.
Oh yeah.
And we do see Meddling Mage in hand for Finn, so we are going to have to see what Finn decides to name here shortly.
Yep.
Well, we're one dismember through.
Yep. Paul not updating his life totals. We're gonna have to do that. And there's a Matter Shaper. Yeah, Paul is a very lands in front player, but I think that's only at Comp REL that actually matters. Um,
Oh no. Paul has the mismatched Urza lands we were talking about earlier. Someone did it.
I mean, okay, to be fair, I feel like if you're trying to have the best competitive edge as possible, you should have all mismatched Urza lands.
To put your opponent on life tilt?
Or just so
Yes.
that it's confusing.
Yes.
It's like confusing for them to know, like, do you have it? Which one are you missing?
That's fair. That's fair. I didn't think about that. Yeah, last round we were lucky to see that Pete had all original Urza lands from Antiquities,
Love it.
and the other player just had the white bordered anthology or
Chronicles? Yeah.
Chronicles. Yes, that was the one. But Paul has gone ahead and just picked from everywhere, it looks like.
Paul is a player that's known to, play the best decks, and he's a very good Magic player, and, that's a decision where, similar to the, should you play snow lands in a deck that snow doesn't matter, you probably should.
Yeah, I get it. I can see the strategic aspect now.
So Chalice on one kind of interesting here. It may actually come into effect now that the vial has ticked up past one. If Finn does draw any 1-drops from here on out, they will be countered by Chalice.
Yeah, but you got a Cavern, so then they won't be countered.
Good point.
Do we know what the Meddling Mage is on? I may have missed it.
I think it named All Is Dust because that is the card that Finn knew was in Paul's hand and would be very unfortunate if Paul got to cast.
Is Finn on 16 HP? Is that accurate? No, he was asking. Or, I don't know. Yeah, you may want to just remind them of the life total counters existing.
So Ian going out there to check and make sure that we're at accurate life totals.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Cavern on human, popping one of the canopies.
I feel like now Paul is the person that gets to Chalice check Finn whenever Finn casts something on one. Countered? Question mark?
Counter it? You paid 1 mana. It counts.
I do have a kind of mopey beaters over here.
Yeah, this is one of those kind of cardboard box sad human straws that could fall apart very, very easily.
Yeah, that dismember on the Champion of Parish was very, very decent from
And
Paul.
Paul gets a free card out of it. What's on top? Oh, that's not good. So we got 2 Tron pieces here. Is that
Yeah,
right?
2 Tron pieces. It looks like Mine and Tower.
I'm curious why, if Finn had a Cavern out, Paul plays out the Chalice, because then you're cutting yourself off of playing Expedition Map. That seems like a way that you can get to, the powerful late game plays.
Is that Tron? No, I think that's 2 copies of mine. That's 2 copies of mine. I was excited. I was like, man, do you really rip it?
I never, I don't, wouldn't say excited is what I feel when I see Tron top deck the missing piece.
Well, I mean, I don't think Paul's in the best position here, and I am always down for someone to get back in it. So
Okay.
that's kind of what I was looking for.
What are we gonna wish for? I wish.
Ratchet Bomb? Something like that? Something along those
There's
lines?
a lot of 2s out there.
Walking Ballista could be a decent choice here if we're trying to free All Is Dust. Just getting Meddling Mage off the board to All Is Dust and sweep everything up.
Smiley face that says ensnaring bridge.
Is Bridge in Eldrazi Tron sideboards?
I saw it earlier in
Okay.
Pete's sideboard, though it looks like we've gone for Ballista though, which is a called shot.
So, actually, a cute bunny. I had that happen to me when I was playing against a Tron deck last week, where I pathed their worm coil and then they wished for it back and played it again, and it made me very sad.
Oh, that's the worst.
So, I mean, Paul's still at 15 as long as the players are updating life totals here correctly.
Yeah, it looks like they've been touching the pad, so.
Well, that's a nice one.
Yeah, Mantis Rider going right at Karn and everything else right at you.
So Paul said going to 8s.
Oh, they got it. They got it. Cool. Finn's doing a good job staying on top of it. Thank you, Finn.
Now would be a good time to rip that missing Tron piece. Ah! Hopefully it's not an expedition map.
Oh boy. So this is it. We untapped. We have Ballista in hand, but what's the line?
Powerful draws. This
Wait.
Eldrazi Tron deck is just full of bangers.
So could you play Field of the Dead and Eldrazi Tron? And how likely are you to turn it on?
3 Trons.
Probably somewhat likely.
Waste.
ETB tapped is just a deal breaker. This deck is.
I think they play like 6 different lands.
Oh, they play Blast Zone too, right?
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
Ghost Quarter.
Temple-
It gets there.
and
Blast-
Cavern
yeah.
of Souls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the most random mismatch.
Where's the Field of the Dead, man?
hot garbage lands you've ever seen.
Huh.
I might be wanting to crack this canopy to hopefully draw like a Thalia's Lieutenant.
Just going in.
Yeah, why do you think we're keeping Canopy uncracked here? Don't you think? Man, it seems like you just want to crack that because nothing comes down at instant speed unless it's through the vial.
Yeah, you're not really shutting yourself off of anything. If you draw a 3-drop, you can tick up your vial next turn to 3 and then still be able to play your 1 and 2 drops. So
It's interesting. The Meddling Mage going to combat is also kind of interesting, as Bunny pointed out there, just because if it is on all his dust, then we're putting it at risk.
What was Phantasmal Image copying?
I didn't know.
I
the
think
answer
it
to that
copied
either.
Charming Prince.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Notably, yeah, Paul can just tick down to get rid of this Phantasmal Image due to its text.
Okay, responding to
I
the
would
first one.
Wow. Okay. We get the Charming Prince vialed in, and then we're blinking the Meddling Mage in response to the Ballista shooting it.
With the one left, yeah, now putting it towards
Okay,
Thalia.
that's maybe a little missed sequencing there. I would have let the first trigger resolve from
On the second one.
and on the second one blink it, so that way Paul was able to take out the Thalia there. But we still have that Meddling Mage coming back, naming all his dust.
Yep. And that's
And
game one.
uh,
Wasn't a big fan of that chalice, it looks like.
no, no. There is sometimes a secret mode. All cards are modal, and they have the secret mode of like, don't cast it.
Yeah, that's the secret mode.
It's so feel bad though. I'm all about just, even if it's detrimental, you put it in your deck to cast it, Travis.
I put the cards in my deck to hold in my hand while I stare deeply at my opponent, asking what they're gonna do.
You cast them just on your opponent's turn. But you didn't do that today, did you? Did you, Travis?
No, I did not. I cast a bunch of enchantments on my creatures that all died to blast zones and engineered explosives.
What? I mean, I know that Big Monkey is a big fan of humans. Like, he requested that, or they requested that we grab up a humans player for round 4.
Well, we're all human here.
We're all human here.
Cute Bunny.
I just wanted to say that just to be sure, but yeah.
Cute Bunny asks, what's more annoying to play against, humans or spirits? Travis?
I find in the decks that I play, because I mostly play kind of control variants, spirits to be more annoying to play against because you have to worry about stuff like rattle chains and spell quellers. And humans, you can usually think of what's the worst thing my opponent can be doing, and then make your decision trees around that. So spirits more annoying. I'd probably like playing spirits more than I would like playing humans. Rattle chains is fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, humans does not have rattle chains, and that card can be a house if it's timed right.
Chat's definitely feeling like they're more on the human side of things than the Eldrazi Tron. We've been kind of getting flack for putting an Eldrazi Tron mirror up in round 3.
Ooh,
So
nice
Yeah, can you believe they booed us
You all
on
got
chat
booed while
and
I was gone?
everything?
Wow.
yeah, they booed. And they keep asking where Urchin is, and I just feel so insulted every time it happens. I'm trying.
It's a team. It's a team effort here at Portland Paper, and our team is composed of many members, and some of them, don't start every game. But it's important to have a deep bench, which is something that some teams don't have, especially other teams in Portland that play sports.
Yeah.
But they got the W tonight because Carmelo Anthony is the league MVP.
Oh, sorry for sports ball talk.
Oh no.
Ooh, there's a deputy in detention that was trying to jump out of the deck. Okay, yeah, so I feel sideboard-wise, these chalices are pretty easy to take out when you've seen caverns and vials.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty much the only thing you're really concerned about is, like, opponent having turn 1 vial. Probably bringing in warping whales, if those are in the sideboard. The removal for colorless is pretty bad, but that's one of the better ones with this member in the main deck. So then you have, extra copies of spot removal.
I think I just saw some copies of Chalice actually go back into Paul's main deck.
Okay. I mean, if you're on the play, it could not be awful, but I bet it's probably bad. For Finn, I'm curious if they're playing any number of collector oofs in the sideboard, and if you would bring those in on the draw. I definitely bring those in on the play, and probably I saw the deputy detention pop out of that shuffling going on. That seems like a good one to bring in. Any other cards that you see in human sideboards that you think you'd want to bring in the matchup?
Out of human sideboards, aside
Nice.
from like
Gaddock Teague sometimes maybe, and I guess Dismembers might.
Dismembers can be good
Yeah.
against Thought-Knot Seers for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's a Reality Smasher, then it's kind of like ugh. That feels bad, but I mean, also getting a reality smasher off the table is probably what you want to be doing anyway.
Yeah, Plague Engineer naming Eldrazi probably not the best.
No. Plague Engineer is a living nightmare.
I
Why did they print that card?
I mean, Collector Oof doesn't turn off the Karn lock; it just turns it on for everyone.
But it's great though. That's such a gotcha. Like people misunderstanding the Karn lock is one of the best ways to win against Karn decks.
I do love that, the Tron deck doesn't have any creatures in play. The humans deck doesn't. Then they do the lattice, and you like file in the Collector Roof. Like it's worth it probably just for that.
And we're off. Game 2.
Well,
Expedition map. So good.
What do you give the chances this is followed up with actually another Tron land that's different?
Which one drop artifact?
Like 2%? Oh my gosh.
Oh! Perfect.
All right, so if we're gonna match that 2-drop for humans,
What 2-drop from Tron, though? All they did was play a land and be like, I'm going to have 7 mana next turn.
This is like catching lightning in a bottle.
is that a song reference?
No, it's like that's a phrase. It's a turn of phrase. It's like a, special moment.
I saw a green card.
It's
Did I see
also a
green
song
card?
by the Police.
We're scrying. What are we scrying, to the top or to the bottom?
I'm appreciative this time that at least Paul's playing matching Tron lands. Don't you dare grab a different, or is this mine? Don't you dare do... Yeah!
Oh, well, that's nice. All right, so we're gonna have access to the 7 mana on turn 3. So usually when traditional Tron, green X, whatever Tron, or just green, when you're at 7, you're like you're usually Carning or Worm Coiling. But so right now, are we gonna like Thought Not See or Matter Shaper? Are we gonna 2-spell? What are Oh, there's a Thought Not Seer.
Oh, wow.
That's-
Multiple ways to deal with Thought Not Seer.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so what do you take here then? This is actually, I think, a difficult choice.
I think you take Dismember because Deputy just bounces Thought Knot back, and Thought Knot can come back down that way, but...
Well, Deputy will exile it, but eventually you'll have ways to deal with Deputy. So.
Oh, Deputy...
Yep.
Yeah, well, oh, yeah, that's right. That's how that
But
works.
I think you are correct in that Dismember is the, quote, unquote, clean answer to Thought Not Seer, and with Deputy you have the ability to, like, Warping Whale it or Dismember the Deputy and then get your Thought Knot back.
Whoa. All right. So that's actually kind of interesting, too. It's like, all right, use your Dismember. That's fine. Like, it looks like Finn's prepared for it.
So, of note, Paul does have a Reality Smasher in hand. So maybe actually feeling like if Finn dismembers and can't put together a fast enough clock, that Paul might be able to race here.
I mean, I don't see any reason not to Dismember on your main phase if you're Finn right now. You're going to get in and attack, and then you might draw another relevant 2-drop.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was kind of the same thing as earlier when the card... or when Finn didn't opt to blow up the Horizon Canopy for the extra card. I'll be interested to see if he decides to just pop off and grab that extra card before combat.
Ooh. Wow. Huh. Okay, so the lines that I was seeing are you could play Mantis Rider and then vial in Thalia's lieutenants. But I kind of, if you're going to Dismember, I like doing it first because that would maybe change how I sequence stuff. Like maybe I wouldn't play the 1-drop if you had another 2-drop, but small. They're like small things that decision trees that.
Yeah. And that's what makes these matches like really interesting is like seeing how the players operate in their small windows and seeing how the game progresses from there, I guess. But
Yeah, Chad. I think Mantis plus Thalia was a play that was good, or dismember and then seeing what you draw um, from that point. But regardless, Finn does have that Thalia's Lieutenant in hand, and a Mantis Rider plus an unknown, so it's looking pretty good.
yeah, lots of follow up for next turn, ready to go. And so Paul, it's really gonna matter what Paul does here.
You definitely have to have all his dust like in the back of your head if you're Finn. So
I think that's probably why he held on to his permanence. But here's Reality Smasher. We're gonna try to take the wheel.
crunch. Oh, I see. We see a backup smasher in Paul's hand too,
Interesting.
and a chalice.
Is that chalice gonna do anything?
Now it does turn off the one drops at this point.
I
Which so
suppose.
Finn had the ultimate heads-up play of reading that Paul had a chalice in hand, so played the champion of the parish.
Yeah, exactly.
Jokes on us here in
Joke.
coverage.
Yeah, obviously Finn is on a different level than we are.
The lands are in front for Paul because that's how Paul rolls.
Yeah, and as for Finn, the cards behind the lands are revealed information for Paul to just still know what's going on in there, but it looks like all the information is now on the table. Yeah, that's the promo pack of Throne of Eldraine that they're fighting for. There could be some good value in there.
And not just the normal promo, it's like the premium one where everything's foil and it's got like 2 rares or mythics in it. I've seen some pretty insane, and you can get the foil full art stuff too, so
Yeah, if you were with us last week, Dustin actually cracked his pack on camera after winning and cracked that foil Hallowed Fountain, which was
Ooh.
sick.
We'll try. We can't force anybody to open it on camera, but we can certainly ask.
Yes, I will make sure to pop up and ask first thing.
Persuasive bunch here.
Alright, Finn's gonna reach over there and help us out with how much damage Paul just took.
11.
Big amount of damage. Big chunk.
I feel like it's all or dust or bust.
That's an Urza's land.
I mean, Paul does have another smasher in hand, but that's not really gonna. You're not in a good spot when Reality Smasher is holding up on D. Oh,
Very aggressive.
it's a strange block.
Was a trample over for 9?
Okay, well, I was curious. Maybe that wasn't the worst block. If there was like a walking ballista, I didn't count Paul's mana, but maybe Finn was doing some ballista math there.
Alright,
But-
looks like Finn did win the match. I'll
Yeah.
pop out and ask if he wants to open
Yeah,
his
that
prize
sounds great.
pack real quick.
This is pretty mediocre.
Yeah.
What do we have
It's like
there?
a sorcerer's spyglass, some Boros Uncommon, which is undoubtedly
That's
bad.
the Inspiring Veteran. It gives other knights +1/+1.
All right, thanks.
Where is the respect?
And then it looks like maybe a Mobilized District, which is a fairly bad creature land from War of the Spark.
Yeah. Well, I mean,